probably going to talk about every Neil Breen movie here a little bit, since they're all so similar.
Yeah, but we're good to go, right?
I'm still like processing. Yes, I'm still processing that we actually went out and saw this
In a theater.
Yeah.
With other human beings.
That was and on that note, hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Mark. This is John, and today our special guest is Hope.
Hello.
And she is with us today to talk to you about our Lord and Savior, Neil Breen.
All hail his Breenness.
Yes. We just got back from watching his newest movie in theaters, the Emmaus Theater specifically, which
We got breened.
yeah, I guess that's the best way to put it with how interesting of an experience it was. But yeah, his new movie's called Cade, the Tortured Crossing, I believe.
His first sequel.
Yes, first sequel. This is a sequel to his last movie, Twisted Pair. It said Cade will return at the end, and he did, and so did Evil Breen. I guess you could say Kale.
Yeah.
Named after whatever that. Yeah, but so yeah. What would you guys say about this one? How about you? What was your impression of this?
It's definitely something I was not expecting for anything going for a first time regardless. It's something that it definitely reminded me a lot of a farcical type thing for someone who is, it's so bad, it's actually pretty good. That would be my best way of describing this film.
Yeah, there was I did not expect there to be that many people.
I had a feeling it would be pretty packed in there.
I mean, I thought maybe a couple others, but yeah, there were it was a packed crowd. Like there were people cheering like every second. Like it was great.
You'll always be in my heart. That got a huge cheer.
That really did.
Yeah, no, it did. The first time he kissed anyone on screen got a big cheer. The first time he showed up, the tiger fight was easily the best thing he's ever
better than the
done
Revenant bear fight.
Oh, way better. I'd much rather see this. But in all seriousness, Neil Breen, for those that don't know, is a very interesting filmmaker. We'll put it.
He's true to himself, and he stops at nothing. And he has a vision that he wants to get out to the world no matter what the limitation.
Yeah, and results in some pretty interesting things.
He never lets criticism stop him, that's for true.
Yeah, he was, like we were pointing out before, he was a former architect who's made his first movie, I think.
I think he was. But Double Down was 2005.
Yeah, so Double Down was his first movie, and I think I would agree is his worst movie, because 80% of it is just stock footage repeating over and over.
And all the footage of Breen himself, he's either like working out of a laptop in his trunk or running up a hill or something.
Hacking into government systems, as our shirt says. You can see John and I are twinning. The Breen was strong within us today. Yeah, I would only recommend watching Double Down if you want to see where Neil Breen started, where it all began. His movie after that, I Am Here Now, is definitely a major improvement. Which
it's definitely the second funniest of his
movies. I mean, granted, that might not be saying much to most people, but yeah, I Am Here Now. Is
the pause is very important for the folks at home.
The ellipsis has 4 dots. Very important.
Yes, very, very. But I would say that's definitely his second best, even after seeing Cade, Tortured Crossing.
Yes.
And his third movie, Fateful Findings, is easily his best. I feel like it's always going to be his best.
Jim, I cannot believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide.
How could you have done this?
How could you have committed suicide?
Yeah, but in all honesty, if you're going to watch a Neil Breen movie, definitely watch Fateful Findings. Or if this movie is playing, or the new one, is playing in a theater near you, definitely watch that because that experience will beat out any other movie experience ever.
Definitely.
The energy in the crowd really was.
Yeah, and
for someone who's the first timer, it definitely.
I
was
definitely
good.
think that us being in a theater, like especially like an old school theater, like the Emmaus Theater, really added to the experience and having other people cheer and everything.
As a tall person, I will say, a movie theater or any building is old when the doors are shorter and narrower, and like everything is built for smaller people for a time when people were all shorter.
Yeah, no, I felt that a bit, but it didn't bother me too much. Still enjoyed myself. But
That theater definitely was really nice. It was quaint, small, but also fun.
I mean, yeah, no, and I think all the people being there, the energy that the crowd brought, honestly, really added to the experience. So,
yeah,
I guess my opinion of the movie might be a little bit on the biased side since we did have a fun time.
yeah. Even though I will say there's kind of a slump in the middle where it was really funny for like the first half, but then it was just hospital scene after hospital scene of the guy walking in on the operation where he's like, I can't get it to work. What are you doing? Get out of here. Like 3 or 4 times.
But at least it paid off in the end because the guy eventually did come back and do stuff.
Yeah, that was. It led up to. There was stuff that it led up to.
Yes,
basically.
that was a good payoff. But then there's the stumbling through the woods, and sometimes there's bones in front of the shed, and sometimes there's not.
The random dance scene.
Yeah, the random dance
the spirits,
scene.
I think. I don't even really know what that represented, but
Better fight choreography than The Matrix.
Yeah.
Although I will
honestly.
say the love story between definitely was a little bit better than the love story in Twilight. That definitely, I will say.
Yeah, I think the only love story not better than Twilight is 50 Shades, honestly.
I would agree with that,
But even
yes.
then,
Fair.
but yeah, I did honestly enjoy this movie more than I enjoyed Twisted Pair and Double Down. I think it was an improvement on them two. Granted, I know that that's not saying too much, but the only one I'm not sure of is if it's better than Pass Through or not, which
I'm not sure either, because like Twisted Pair for the most part I thought was largely boring, and same with Pass Through, but I would edge Pass Through ahead of Twisted Pair because he at least used a lot of like actual filming locations, because Twisted Pair was when he really started. Well, Pass Through he started using some green screen, but Twisted Pair he really started
and
relying
then
on it.
this movie was even more, but this
It was
movie at least
basically
had-
all green screen.
I mean, this movie was also during COVID, so it has a bit of an excuse, not much of one.
That might be why it was filmed like that.
But I
yeah.
still think this movie I enjoyed this one more than Twisted Pair.
Yeah,
And
it's more
Twisted Pair, I would say, is definitely better than Double Down, because at least you don't know what's going on, but there's stuff going on. It's not just like 80% stock footage.
Yeah.
Like he does stuff with what he has.
Yeah.
Oh, there definitely was some stock footage in this.
Well, yes. Oh no, a lot of it, and it was better stock footage than what he usually had.
Yeah.
I will say some of the stock footage actually gave it some better quality. Not much, but I mean, it did. The stock footage paid off. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not much else. I mean,
I will say, this is really a criticism with all of his movies, but this movie continues the trend of I'm going to have random scenes edited in where it's like quick shots of stuff, and it's like I can't tell if this is some Christopher Nolan-esque events are taking place out of order and being repeated, or if like it is linear but just told very badly, because like Kale kidnaps people repeatedly in this movie, and the ninjas are played by the same actors as the patients, and that makes it even more confusing, because I'm like,
yeah, at first I thought that was intentional. Like I thought maybe like the people at the hospital were using them in like some kind of mind control way, but I mean that might be what happened, but we wouldn't know because it doesn't really
Yeah, because
It's
like
Neil Breen.
because
He likes being ambiguous, maybe a little too ambiguous sometimes.
yeah, well, I mean, all you really have to know about not just this movie, but like all Neil Breen movies is Neil Breen is a demigod superhero guy,
Alien sometimes.
and he hates corruption in the government and corrupt big businesses, and he wants to stop them. And there's this hospital that Cade funds or something, but the hospital is like really trashy, and the inside of it is like an abandoned mental asylum. That's the stock footage they use. And Neil Breen continues the trend of destroying property by he sees a wheelchair, knocks it over, sees skis, knocks them
Knocks over every prop they have.
Just like the laptops in Fateful Findings, just laptop abuse everywhere.
Or in this
And of course,
case,
all
the
the boxes
piano
that get-
guy.
Oh,
like the guy throwing the piano every
Yeah,
Oh,
the keyboard.
the keyboard.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying that?
I was saying how different boxes, different things, but one of the biggest scenes that I was not expecting was between the two of them at the end, the twins.
Oh, and look what happened to me. Kill me. Kill me.
You know, at first when Kale was like pleading with him to kill him, I thought, that's unironically Neil Breen's best acting. But then he just kept going, and it got real cheesy real
yeah,
quick.
and then
And he
after that,
apparates
it
the
just
sword.
kept dragging.
Yeah,
Yes.
The ending was dragged so much.
There's letting a shot breathe, and then there's just straight up it lingers
Too
awkwardly.
long. Yes.
Yeah,
and-
and then there's beating a dead horse.
Yeah,
basically.
and he freeze frames all the time. Why does he
With
do
with
that?
his like glowing right eye.
Yeah, why
It
did he
just
do
glows
that? Like
bright
That,
orange.
I don't remember that ever happening in Twisted Pair. I mean, I guess maybe because he learned more. Maybe he wants to do different. I don't know.
Although with the first eye, like it actually made sense the eye glowed because it was fixed in the car.
Yeah, and then.
But then afterwards,
after
it was
that, made
like,
no
or is
sense.
it like
Yeah.
fixing himself? Is that what he was trying to do?
I don't even really know if it's fair to even rate the movie.
Yeah,
we can't even really rate them. So you know what? 10 out of 10, best thing ever. Just go see it.
Yeah, 10. Go see it.
10. Full 10.
And you know what this movie objectively improves upon from Twisted Pair? In Twisted Pair, detective is spelled wrong in the credits. It's detective.
That's true.
But in this movie, he spelled detective correctly in the end credits. Way to go, Neil Breen, you did it. Congratulations.
Progress. So, would you say that this is his third or fourth best movie?
Fourth, maybe.
Fourth, okay. See, Pass Through is too much like I Am Here now. For me, like, it had some of the enjoyable qualities that I Am Here now had, but other than that, like, yeah, I'd probably say fourth for Pass Through. I'd swap them, but other than that, like, it would be Fateful Findings, I Am Here now, Cade, Tortured Crossing, Pass Through, Twisted Pair, Double Down. And that's my ranking of Neil Breen movies.
Yeah.
Voila.
That's basically mine too, but I'd swap Pass Through and Cade's Tortured Crossing.
That's fair. That's fair. On that note, thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to see more. You had something special you wanted to add?
Oh yeah, I had two things. First of all, I think our LGBT bird movie trilogy was complete after all, because there's this one viral video of Big Bird gendered bathrooms where he's like, if that's the girls' room and that's the boys' room, where's the birds' room? Big Bird non-binary confirmed. We did it, Mark. We finished the trilogy. I don't think Big Bird is canonically non-binary, but these are the things I think about when I can't sleep at night. You know how Patrick, it's like the inner machinations of my mind are an enigma? Instead of milk falling over, is Big Bird non-binary?
Fair enough.
And the second thing is I got you a present.
Oh?
It's really more a present for Sammy than it is for you, but I'm sure you'll appreciate it.
I love it.
Is that not the sissiest duckling you've ever seen?
Oh, it's the sissiest. I love it. I love every bit of it. I'll be sure to read this to him. I recognize him from Independence Day. He was the guy with, wow. It makes me love it even more.
Don't forget the hit, critically acclaimed film Death to Smoochie. He was in that too.
I forgot about that one. He was also in Mrs. Doubtfire, I believe.
I believe he was, yes.
Alright, anyways, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.